Episode 1. A Growing Concern. Scene 1. Ronnie's illness. The golden morning light filters through the canopy at the Tree of Life, but the warmth outside is lost in the cold shadow lingering in Ronnie's den. She lies curled on a bed of soft leaves, her fur damp with sweat, her breathing shallow and uneven. Her paw presses gently against her stomach, where an aching discomfort has taken hold. Keon paces nearby, his gaze constantly drawn back to her. Her strength, usually so steady and grounded, now feels distant, hidden behind strained smiles and quiet groans. Ronnie, please, he says, voice heavy with worry. Tell me what's wrong. She opens her eyes slowly, voice barely above a whisper. I don't know. I'm just exhausted. And the pain in my stomach, it won't stop. I thought it was just stress, but this feels different. That's all Keon needs to hear. We're going to McKinney. Now. Scene 2. Seeking McKinney's wisdom. Keon helps Ronnie make her way to a sacred grove near the edge of the Tree of Life, where McKinney the owl watches from a low branch. Her eyes flick between them as they approach, calm but concerned. Keon speaks first. McKinney, she's not well. We need help. McKinney studies Ronnie carefully. Her spirit is strong, but something is off. I suspect something unexpected. But the healers must confirm it. You should see Nirmala. Scene 3. The healers confirm the news. Nirmala, the lead healer of the Tree of Life, is a graceful lioness with a calm presence and a commanding intuition. Her den is nestled in a quiet hillside, filled with the scent of herbs and flowers. Her golden eyes are steady as she greets the couple. Nirmala, Keon says urgently, Ronnie's been sick for days. McKinney told us to come to you. Nirmala nods, already observing Ronnie's posture and breathing. Come, lie down, Ronnie, let me see. Ronnie hesitates, then obeys. Nirmala gently presses along her side, listening closely, pausing now and then to sniff the air around her. After a long silence, she sits back. I believe you are pregnant, Ronnie, she says gently. You're carrying cubs. Ronnie blinks in disbelief. Pregnant? But I. It explains the fatigue, the pain, the shift in your body, Nirmala says. This is a blessing, but also a delicate time. You must rest, and we'll keep a close eye on you. Ronnie glances at Keon, a mix of wonder and uncertainty in her eyes. I'm going to be a mother. Keon smiles, a rare light in his eyes. He presses his forehead to hers. We're going to be parents. I love you, Ronnie. Ronnie exhales shakily, a faint smile forming. For the first time in days, hope flickers. Scene 4. Preparing for Pride Rock. Though overjoyed, the news brings urgency. With Ronnie weakened and danger still lurking, Keon and the others agree, they must journey to Pride Rock, where they can be closer to family and better protected. The Night Pride and Lion Guard offer their support. Preparations are made swiftly, and they set out at dawn. The journey through the savannah is long and winding. Keon stays close to Ronnie, ever watchful. She leans on him often, grateful for his strength, but aware of the strain on her own. Scene 5. A rogue attack. As the sun sets, casting fiery streaks across the plains, a rustle in the tall grass halts the group. Then, chaos. Scar's loyal rogues burst from the shadows, hyenas and lions with eyes full of vengeance. The Night Pride reacts swiftly, defending their queen with fierce resolve. But amid the chaos, a rogue lion breaks through and strikes Ronnie across her side. She cries out and collapses, pain racking her body. Ronnie, Keon screams, rushing to her. He presses against her wound, heart thundering in his chest. No, no, not now. Ronnie's eyes flutter. I'll be okay, just get me to Pride Rock. Keon swallows hard. We're almost there. Just stay with me. The enemies are driven off, but Ronnie's wound is deep. Every second counts now. Scene 6. The journey to Pride Rock. Keon lifts her carefully onto his back, her breathing shallow and uneven. The Lion Guard and Night Pride close ranks around them as they move, their focus razor sharp. The moon rises, lighting their path as they cross the final stretch of land. Ronnie drifts in and out of consciousness, whispering Kyan's name when she can. He whispers back, each step a silent vow. Finally, the familiar silhouette of Pride Rock appears on the horizon. Kyan's voice breaks the silence. We're here, Ronnie. Hold on. We're home. Episode 2, Reaching Pride Rock. Scene 1, The Den at Pride Rock. Kyan and Ronnie go into a quiet den, hidden from the rest of the Pride. Ronnie's condition is critical, and Kyan does not want to leave her side. The cool stone walls of Pride Rock feel like a shelter from the chaos, but the weight of Ronnie's injuries hangs heavily on him. Scene 2, Simba's arrival. Kyan rushes to find Simba, his father, desperate for his support and advice. When Simba sees his son's panicked expression, he immediately knows something is wrong. Kyan, what is going on? Simba asks, his voice heavy with concern. It's Ronnie, Kyan says, his voice trembling. She's been attacked by Scar's followers. She's hurt badly, and she's pregnant. Simba's eyes widen with shock. Pregnant? But she's so young. This is too much for her. I need your help, Dad, Kyan pleads. Please, Ronnie really needs us. Simba, seeing the depth of Kyan's worry, nods. Let's go to her. Scene 3, A Father's Worry. Simba and Kyan arrive at the den, and Simba's heart aches as he sees Ronnie's pale form lying motionless, barely conscious. Her breath comes in shallow, painful gasps. Simba's worry is palpable as he kneels beside his son's maid. I've seen much in my life, Kyan. But this is hard, Simba says, his voice low. Kyan watches helplessly as his father assesses the situation. We have to do something. She can't die, not like this. Simba sighs heavily. You're right. But Ronnie's body is weak, and this injury is serious. I will do what I can, but we must be prepared for the worst. Scene 4, Ronnie's condition worsens. Ronnie is barely conscious as her body trembles. She murmurs Kyan's name, but her voice is so faint that it's almost inaudible. Kyan holds her paw tightly, trying to give her the strength she needs. Stay with me, Ronnie, Kyan whispers, his voice breaking. Please, you can't leave me. Scene 5, the night passes. Kyan stays by Ronnie's side through the night, his eyes never leaving her. His exhaustion is evident, but he refuses to rest, not with Ronnie in the condition that she is in. Every shallow breath that escapes her lips makes his heart race with fear. He talks to her softly, as though his words might keep her tethered to the world. Scene 6, the dawn of hope. At dawn, Ronnie's breathing grows even more shallow. Kyan's fear reaches a breaking point. But then, just as the first rays of light touch the den, Ronnie stirs. Her eyes flutter open, and she whispers his name weakly. Kyan, I'm here, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. Tears well in Kyan's eyes as he hugs her close. Ronnie, I was so scared, but you're here. You're still with me. Episode 3, A New Hope. Scene 1, an unexpected visitor. Dawn breaks over Pride Rock, casting golden light across the den. Ronnie lies still, her breath shallow but steady, a fragile promise of survival. Kyan hasn't left her side since their arrival the night before. His eyes are heavy with exhaustion, but he refuses to look away. A soft rustle at the entrance draws his attention. Rafiki, the wise old mandrill, enters with a grave expression. His gaze falls instantly on Ronnie, and his usually bright demeanor is dimmed by concern. Kyan rises, his voice hoarse. How is she, Rafiki? Rafiki kneels beside Ronnie, gently brushing the edge of her fur. His fingers pause at the wound. A deep sigh escapes him. She's strong, Rafiki says quietly. But the odds are not in her favor. The injury, the stress of the pregnancy, it's all too much for one body. Kyan's breath catches, but she's breathing. That has to mean something. It does, Rafiki nods. It means there's still a chance. And because you brought her here in time, I can give her medicine, herbs to ease the pain, and maybe help her hold on. His words hang in the air like a fragile thread, hopeful, but barely. Keon lowers his head beside Ronnie's. She has to make it, he whispers. She has to. Scene 2. Kyan's request. The morning sun glitters on the surface of the watering hole, where Kiara stands gazing into the distance. Keon approaches, his paws heavy and his heart heavier still. She turns at the sound of his steps. Keon, what's wrong? He doesn't answer at first. His eyes say everything. It's Ronnie, he finally says, voice trembling. Rafiki doesn't think she'll survive. He says the injury, the stress, it might be too much. Kiara steps forward, her expression shifting from concern to resolve. I'm so sorry, Keon. I can't imagine how hard this is. I need you, Keon says. I need your strength. I don't know how to do this without you. Kiara places a gentle paw on his shoulder. You're not alone. You never have been. We'll face this together, no matter what happens. Scene 3. Kiara's pregnancy. As they talk, Keon notices Kiara's growing belly. A wave of guilt strikes him. Kiara, he says softly, you shouldn't be dealing with this. You've got your own cubs to think about. She smiles gently, though fatigue flickers in her eyes. I know, but right now, Ronnie needs you. And you need me. That's what family is for. Keon lowers his head. I just feel so helpless. Like I'm watching everything fall apart. Kiara lifts his chin with her paw. We'll hold it together, Keon. Piece by piece, day by day, you're stronger than you think. Scene 4. Ronnie's condition worsens. Back in the den, Ronnie stirs weakly. Her breathing has grown more ragged, and her body trembles as fever takes hold. Keon is instantly at her side, his heart thundering. Ronnie, he whispers, pressing his forehead to hers. Please, stay with me. Her eyes flutter open, unfocused but present. I'm still here, she breathes, her voice cracked and faint. The cubs, they're close. I have to fight. For them. For us. Tears slip down Kyan's face. Then fight. I'll be right here, always. Ronnie's paw finds his, squeezing with the last of her strength before her head rests back against the stone. Keon lies down beside her, silent and steadfast. Scene 5. A spark of hope. Night falls. Kiara and Kavu step into the den, the air tense with unspoken fears. Kiara, her steps slower now, kneels beside Ronnie. Hey, she says softly, I know we haven't had much time to talk lately. But I want you to know, we're here. You're not alone. Ronnie's eyes open slowly, and for a moment, her pain is overshadowed by gratitude. I'm scared, she admits. Not for me, for the cubs. Kiara leans closer, her voice firm. Then hold on. For them. For Keon. For all of us. You're stronger than this pain. Ronnie manages a faint smile. Scene 6. A small victory. As the sun rises once more, the den is quiet, but Ronnie's breathing is calmer. Her fever has eased slightly, and for the first time in days, her sleep looks peaceful. Keon watches her, eyes rimmed with exhaustion but glinting with something new, hope. She's still fighting, he murmurs. And so will I. Outside, the light spills over Pride Rock. The battle isn't over, but for now, the dawn brings promise. Episode 4. Preparing for the worst. Scene 1. Kyan's Vigil. The moon hangs low in the sky, casting silver light through the entrance of the den. Keon hasn't slept in nearly 2 days. His eyes are heavy, but he doesn't dare close them, not while Ronnie lies so still beside him. His tail flicks restlessly. Every breath she takes feels like a fragile thread he's terrified to see snap. Stay with me, he whispers, not for the first time. He leans closer, listening to the quiet rise and fall of her chest, willing it to continue. Scene 2. Ronnie's strength. Hours pass, then, movement. Ronnie stirs, her eyes blinking open slowly. She's pale, her body weak, but there's a familiar glint in her gaze, determination. I'm still here, she whispers, voice rough but steady. Kyan's breath catches in his throat. He lowers his forehead to hers, tears brimming in his eyes. You're so strong. Ronnie, I don't know how you're still fighting, but I'm so proud of you. She offers the faintest smile. I'm not giving up. Not when you're here. Not when we have something worth fighting for. Scene 3. The Lion Guard's support. Outside. Quiet paw steps approach. The Lion Guard enters the den, their faces solemn. Boonga is first to speak, his usual exuberance muted by the gravity of the moment. We got your back, Keon. Always, he says, stepping closer. Ronnie's tough. She's gonna pull through. Fuley stands beside him, her amber eyes sharp and certain. You're not alone. We're here, whatever you need. Keon nods, moved by their presence. For the first time in a while, the weight on his chest lifts, just a little. Scene 4. Kiara's visit. Later, Kiara arrives, her own steps slower now with the swell of impending motherhood. But her eyes are clear and determined. She gently settles beside Ronnie, offering her a soft smile. You've always been strong, Kiara says, reaching out to touch her paw. You'll get through this, and when you do, we'll raise these cubs together. Ronnie squeezes her paw lightly. Thank you, Kiara, I needed that. You're not alone, Ronnie, Kiara whispers. None of us are. Scene 5. A glimmer of recovery. The day stretches on. The sun rises higher. And slowly, subtly, Ronnie begins to improve. Her breathing evens. Her skin warms. The faintest color returns to her fur. Keon watches every small change with growing hope. His heart beats a little steadier. She's still fragile, but she's here. And that means everything. Scene 6. The family's strength. As the sun begins to set, casting golden light across the Pride lands, Keon steps outside the den for the first time in hours. The breeze brushes through his mane. The land stretches wide and open before him, and for the first time in days, he lets himself exhale. He turns back toward the den, a soft smile on his face. She's going to make it, he whispers. We're going to make it. And for the first time in what feels like forever, he believes it. Episode 5. The Heart of the Battle. Scene 1. A weak but resolute Ronnie. Dawn creeps gently into the den, casting golden threads of light across the stone floor. The shadows retreat slowly, but the heaviness in the room remains. Keon sits silently beside Ronnie, his paw brushing lightly against hers. Her breathing is still shallow, her body fragile, but there's a rhythm now, a steadiness that wasn't there before. You're the strongest lion I know, he murmurs, his voice raw. I don't know what I'd do without you. Ronnie stirs, her eyes fluttering open. The fever has clouded her vision, but she sees him. Feels him. Her voice is barely a breath, but it holds fierce determination. I'm not leaving you, Keon, not yet. I'm still here, for you, for our cubs. There's fire behind the exhaustion in her eyes. A flicker of the lioness he's always known. Keon presses his forehead against hers, holding back tears. We'll face this together, I promise. Scene 2. The painful hours. As the sun climbs, the hours drag painfully on. Ronnie's condition flickers between awareness and fevered sleep. Her body trembles with effort, every breath a battle. But she fights on. Keon remains close, never once leaving her side. He murmurs gentle reassurances, brushing her fur, soothing her pain where he can. The world outside the den ceases to exist. There is only Ronnie, the cubs, and his unrelenting fear. I need you, he whispers, voice thick with emotion. The world needs you. Ronnie's paw twitches weakly, her eyes cracking open. I hear you, Keon. I'm still here. I won't give up. But the uncertainty lingers. Every moment feels suspended on a thread. Scene 3. Kiara and Kavu's visit. Later, soft footsteps echo at the den's entrance. Kiara enters, moving slowly beneath the weight of her pregnancy, with Kavu close behind. Their faces are tired, but steady with resolve. Kiara kneels beside Ronnie, her voice warm but laced with concern. How are you feeling? Ronnie looks up at her, a flicker of fear in her eyes. It's hard, but I have to keep fighting. Kavu steps forward, Silent but solid. A presence Keon is quietly grateful for. Just having them there eases the isolation. Kiara places a paw gently over Ronnie's. You're strong. You've made it this far, and you'll keep going. We're all here, for you, for Keon, for your cubs. Ronnie nods weakly, a small smile forming on her lips. Thank you. I just want to be here for them. And in that fragile moment of shared strength, Ronnie's breathing eases just slightly. Hope pulses softly through the den. Scene 4. Ronnie goes into labor. As afternoon stretches toward dusk, the air inside the den grows tense. Ronnie's body shifts abruptly, strained, unsteady. Her breath quickens, muscles tightening with sudden pain. Keon jerks upright, panic surging through him. Ronnie. She grips his paw tightly, her eyes wide with alarm. It's time. The cubs are coming. His heart pounds in his chest. The world tilts, but he doesn't waver. He turns quickly to Kiara. Help her. Please. Kiara moves without hesitation, her tone steady. You've come this far, Ronnie. You're almost there. Just breathe. But the pain is sharp, raw. Ronnie groans as another contraction hits, her body trembling. It hurts. Keon. I don't know if I can. You can, he whispers, pressing his forehead to hers. You're not alone. Scene 5. Birth of the Cubs. The hours stretch long and grueling. Ronnie endures wave after wave of pain, her strength nearly gone, but her will remains. Then, finally, a cry fills the air. The first cub is born, small but vibrant, letting out a defiant wail. Kyan's eyes well with tears as he leans down, nuzzling the tiny life. We did it, he breathes. You did it, Ronnie. But there's no time to rest. Another cry of pain racks her body, and then, a second cub is delivered, smaller but healthy. Keon cradles them both gently, awestruck. Kiara, her voice choked with emotion, whispers, they're beautiful. Ronnie smiles faintly, they're everything. But her smile falters. Her body collapses back onto the nest of leaves, strength slipping away again. The light dims in her eyes. Scene 6. The struggle to stay alive. The cubs rest quietly now, their tiny bodies curled against Ronnie's side. But something is wrong. Keon senses it in the stillness. Her breathing, once faint but steady, has grown shallow, uneven. Then it stops. Ronnie, he whispers, his voice tight. No response. His heart slams in his chest. He leans closer, nose brushing her cheek. Ronnie. Still nothing. Panic crashes into him. He places a paw over her chest. No rise. No breath. A broken sound escapes his throat. No, no, no. Keon collapses beside her, pressing himself against her unmoving body. His tears fall freely now, soaking into her fur as he buries his face into her neck. I'm here, he whispers, voice trembling, lost. I'm here, Ronnie. Around him, the den is silent but for the soft cries of the cubs. Kiara turns away, her eyes shining. Kavu lowers his head. Time seems to hold its breath. Keon stays like that, trembling, shattered. The world narrows to her warmth slowly fading under his paws. Then, a stir. A breath, so faint he almost misses it. He lifts his head, stunned. Ronnie's chest rises, just barely. Her eyes flutter. Keon. His breath catches in his throat. You're alive, he chokes out, a sob breaking free as he cradles her face gently. You're alive. She smiles weakly, still, here. Relief floods him like a crashing wave. He presses his forehead to hers, holding her as if to anchor her in the world. I thought I lost you, he whispers. I thought you were gone. I'm not, she murmurs. Not yet.